Welcome. Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome to my Love Island USA season 6, episode 6. Recap and review. We are back to chit chat about this show. Episode wasn't bad. I'm still in it. Um, I have concerns. Remember, I had concerns on Friday. I have more concerns. I think the downside to liking your OG cast is you're always going to be afraid that somebody's going to come and take over them and end up leaving. And I'm concerned for some of my OGs that I really like that they might be gone soon. And that will be unfortunate. Welcome back, CJ. Happy Sunday. I am very concerned about my poor OGs, and that's mostly the women. Hi, Rachel. Yes, this episode was amazing. I will say I can't hate the episode. I want to, but I can't hate it. I think everything that we were kind of looking for to happen kind of happened. So I'm not upset. I'm just concerned. So let's get into it. So the episode does start kind of where we left off on Friday. So if you guys missed it, yesterday was the debut of Love Island After Sun. So apparently no more unseen bits on Saturdays. It is replaced with After Sun, which is fine. I did not watch it. I saw clips of it. And I think it's numbered 5 After Sun, and this is episode 6. Some of the things they discussed were Sally and Jess were on there, and they discussed who they like in the show. We found out that Coy came on, and he says that his body count wasn't really 150, so that was funny. The new bombshells were on there. Again, they seem to have a lot of personality, 2 very beautiful girls. Yeah, so if you want to watch Love Island After Sun, you can go check it out. I probably will be watching very limited here or there. Welcome, TA. TA says, hey, Tamika and everybody. Rachel says, hey, I heard Coy's mom was making shady comments about Janae on IG. I hate when Islander parents are messy online, like grow up. Yes, so there was a TikTok that showed certain comments that she was making. I do have it somewhere. Hold on. And I can read it to you guys. I don't actually appreciate what she wrote. Here we go. So she commented and said that Janae was desperate. I hope someone finally drools for her before she starts that fake cry again. Then she said, her worth, you definitely don't know anything about her. It's the other way around, dear. Coy knew his worth. And she also states she was crazy to send Coy home. She wanted him to open up his whole life on the spot. He did not want her. After realizing who she was, he immediately regretted not picking Serena. Coy would have been a whole different person with her. Oh, well. Now, this is my thing. And TA is pointing out here that, yeah, she watched Afroson and Coy said he would have liked to get to know Serena. Okay, Coy. This is my thing. Coy could have gotten to know Serena. She was right there. He was literally talking to her. And as I stated on Friday, the thing is, you were talking to her about Janae. And I really think if he had gotten to know Serena, she might have picked him. She might have picked him. So, like, this is on you. And somebody I know was like, oh, well, did he not pick her because he was trying to be loyal to Cordell? Then again, I blame you. I blame you, Coy, for not going for what you truly wanted. If that's the case, if that is the case, and you truly wanted Serena, it doesn't matter who she's partnered with. You should have went after what you wanted. You did not. Still all on you. Now, as for his mother, I don't appreciate her doing any of that. It is an edited program. Even if your son called you up and was like, this, and this happened, still, you're only getting one side of the story. And I don't think Janae was nasty about letting Coy go. And on the other side, when he did his exit little interview thing, he said that there was no harsh feelings towards Janae. So why are you harsh feelings towards him? If he's such a great guy and a great catch, he will meet his person on the outside. He just ain't winning $100,000 today. Sorry for you. CJ says, please, do you know what happened with Serenity's season 4 complaints about production? Serenity didn't complain about production. If you're talking about the lawsuit that was filed, a lawsuit was filed against the American ITV producers who were handling season 4 from an internal complaint. So it was handlers on the show, on-set producers who sued the show for how they handled the show, and then they also sued them because they fired them. So it was like an lawful firing that they sued them. Serenity has not sued. She hasn't sued. Rachel says Serena and Coy had the best chemistry during their first kiss challenge, and he didn't go with her. That's on him. That's what I said. I thought that I understood why she would choose him, because he and her had a really great kiss. It was a really great kiss. So I understood why she stood on the heart for him, because they had a really good kiss. But again, he had the choice between her and Serena, to Janae and Serena. He chose Janae. And then even after that, if you're still not seeing that you're opening up to Janae because of whatever reason you don't like her, she's too high maintenance, she's a gold digger, blah, 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 blah. Even though to me, if she was a gold digger, she would be going after Cordell. Why didn't you switch and say, when Janae is talking to you, she's pulling you, she's telling you these things, why didn't you say to her, hey, I think you go for who you want. I am going to go for Serena. I know that's your girl, but she's actually who I think I would gel more with at this point. That is on him that he did not do that. Nothing to do with Janae, nothing to do with Serena, nothing to do with the show. Charlene says she loved this episode. Charlene, welcome. You're welcome, CJ. And hey, Danita. So yes, let's get into episode 6. Hey, Mia. We start off where we left off. Aaron is upset. Hannah tries to comfort him by saying she could tell he really cares for Kyler. She just kind of explains how they all felt that this was a challenge. Like it didn't mean anything. And she said she was going to explain this to Kendall as well. It wasn't serious. She did what she did to say a fuck you to Hakeem. She didn't even kiss him in the waterfall. She fell and she almost drowned, which we watched. And I get what she's saying, but it also came off for me feeling like she still doesn't get it. Hannah, I get that you thought that it was a joke, but my whole thing is when it's expressed that it's no longer a joking matter to everybody else, I think you should have either just been like, well, I apologize and I understand that it wasn't a joke. And so I'm going to take this seriously that your feelings were hurt. I just don't feel like she ever really did that. It was kind of just waving it off for her. We do see Aaron say brings up, but okay. Kyler keeps kissing men she says she's not interested in though. So it's obvious, I feel, that she's possibly drawn to Hakeem because why would she even choose to kiss him? And he says, at what point does it stop? Do you keep kissing multiple boys? And it just contradicts what you're saying to me. He doesn't get it. And I understand what he's saying because she is contradicting herself. And this all comes down to, again, we brought it up last time. Kyler says men keep trying to tie her down and she does not want to be tied down. But she keeps portraying to Aaron that she's willing to be tied down. I don't think she is. I don't think she is. Like, you should say, I am very open. But understand, girl, when you say to Aaron, I am very open, meaning whoever comes in, I'm still going to pursue them. I'm still going to entertain them. That he can do the same thing as well. And you can't sit there and bawl and cry about it because you swung the door open. Rachel says, agreed. I like Hannah, but she doesn't seem to get why she was wrong at all. She like, I hate to call her ditzy, but she's being very ditzy about this, and I'm not. And it kind of comes out to me that I kind of understand why she's single, because at some point you have to think outside yourself in order to be in a partnership. Now, I'm not even saying a relationship, but even just a partnership, you have to think outside yourself. What would this do to somebody I potentially think I could have something with? Kyler, TA says, Kyler does not seem to know what she wants in a guy. She is a walking contradiction. Agreed. I have to agree with that. So Kyler is so upset. She's explaining this to Rob, and Rob explains to her, Aaron just really likes her. And she says she now gets it, because if he had kissed somebody, she would have been really upset. Aha. Aha. That's the point. We all know you would be upset. That is why we're saying you're a contradiction. That's why Aaron's saying you're a contradiction. A girl walked in and talked to him and you were bawling. So that's the point. Why couldn't you think about that when you were doing this? And Rob kind of points out, does she hear herself? And she tries to wave it off. Well, that in the moment she wasn't thinking about him. And Rob says, well, that's the point. You should have been thinking about him if you care about him, like you say. If he's your best friend, you care about what your actions could do towards him. She says, yes, I get it. I fucked up. And Rob agrees, but he also says they both fucked up, truly. And neither have handled this well. It's not over, but they just have to work through it. And this is my thing. I do agree that they both fucked up in a way, but I do feel like it's more on her than on Aaron. Aaron might not have shouldn't have gotten like as upset with her as he did, but I do think he had to like set a line. I do think he had to kind of lay into her for her to get it. I don't think she would have gotten it if he didn't do that. Hey, V points out that Kyler's inability to think outside of herself is scary. She's so self-centered, very self-centered. That's what I got from all of this. And I think that's what Aaron kind of got from it too, because he says he feels like, well, am I just an easy option? Like, am I too soft that you feel like you could just overrun my feelings for your own? And I get him. And Hannah says she doesn't think that that's the case, that Kyler thinks of him as her best friend and that they have the strongest connection. Now, I don't know about strongest connection, but I also don't think that he's an easy option for Kyler. I do think that she thought that she could do whatever to him and he would just take it. And he points out, like, I feel like though it would have been better if we had had a conversation, which I said on Friday. I feel like where the misstep, and it might be their age, the misstep here was neither of them decided to have a conversation of what their partnership meant when they went into another challenge, right? So they had a challenge the other day, and instead of having the conversation after that, say, oh, we just did a challenge, and these challenges might start getting more intimate or like kissing and blah, 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 blah. What does that mean for our partnership? Can I kiss somebody else? If I kiss somebody else, are you going to take offense to it? And instead of having those conversations, they ignored it and kept it moving. Hey, Prishay, welcome, welcome, welcome. We're just chatting this episode. So next we see Liv and Hakeem chat. And I was wondering why we saw this chat, because it was pretty blah. But they're saying that they're going to make breakfast together. She's going to make him breakfast. They were talking, and it comes up about them making out the night before, and he says she's an aggressive lip biter. And then they kiss again, and she's kissing him with her eyes open. And I'm just saying, I don't think she likes this guy. She's just there with him. I do not think she likes this guy. She's just there with him. And I don't even, like, you know, for all my problems with Hakeem, I don't think any of this is him. This is all on her. Like, TA says, I understand that Aaron was upset with Kyler for what she did, and I think it made it worse because she kissed Hakeem, which made it worse. It's also who she kissed. Yeah, I think so. I think it just blindsided him because it was like so random. I think he might have understood more if she kissed like I said, I think it's just a choice in who you kiss. Like, even with Hannah, like, why kiss Hakeem? Why not kiss somebody else that was so stupid? Like, Kendall's best friend is Cordell. Why not kiss Cordell if it was a joke? Why kiss Hakeem? Like, it just, I don't think the choice made sense, because that's why he's saying it just felt like she obviously wanted to kiss Hakeem to like see what it meant or felt like, and whatever, which it's like for him, are how many guys that you're interested in that you're going to keep kissing. And I mean, he's totally right on that. Danita says Liv does not like that man. V says Liv and Hakeem's kiss was horrible. And CJ says Liv does not care about Hakeem at all. At all. So now we see Janae and Connor chat, and they are just observing everybody, and they are glad they are not in the mess. He does say he likes the pace they're going, and he looks forward to many more kisses. I like this conversation. I thought it was good. They seem to hang out a lot. Out of all the couples, they seem to actually hang out with each other and have conversations and are being communicative, which is a good start. regardless of what happens from here. Um, and then we do see Kyler sit down with Aaron again and tries to explain through tears again that she messed up. And Aaron says he gets it. He's just hurt because he wouldn't do that to her. And I like fair. I feel like he wouldn't have done that to her at all, ever. She gets it. She didn't think it was anything more than a challenge. And he says he wishes there was a conversation before. She says she's not here for anyone else, but he says that he now is not going to close himself off to just Kyler. And if someone comes in, he will have the conversation with them and he's open. And I was like, you know what? I think this is for the best, because regardless, I think if they move on or they stay together, him still exploring his options, I think makes things more fair ground, because I don't think she's not going to continue to explore her options. TA says Liv does not like Hakeem at all, and he is a cringe placeholder for her. Yeah, it was sad. Danita said, I'm glad we're finally seeing convos with Janae is having with the guy she's coupled up with. That. And the thing is, they're having conversations that make sense. And that's why I'm just like, Koi's mom, I don't like, we didn't see her conversations with Koi, but there's a reason why we didn't see her conversations with Koi. And I feel like if they were any deep conversations, even if it was just like to build up why they end up not having, like, you know, they were having miscommunications or they weren't ending up liking each other, I think we would have seen those. Because we saw the ones that showed that he, like, she was trying to pull teeth to communicate with him. And no, nobody was asking for him to cut himself open and bleed out on the table. But there's a point where you have to kind of be like, I like you. I want to get to know you. Let's get to know each other. And I don't even feel like we saw any kind of conversations of getting to know each other. CJ says, only time will tell with Janae and Connor. I'm still scared for her. I mean, I was scared for her with Koi. So, I mean, I feel like I'm on the same foot that I was on with Koi. I don't feel like there's any difference. I feel like Koi was biding his time till he could move to somebody else new. I don't think he ever intended on staying with Janae. Hannah is upset that she hurt Kendall. She doesn't really know what to do about it. Liv says her and Hakeem's kisses were weird. And yes, they were weird. But I feel like the weirdness was on you, not necessarily him. So I don't know. Lights out time, and we see Janae and Connor are cuddling. Hakeem and Liv still making out, even though the kisses are weird. And Rob and Leah are making out. And so the next morning, Kyler is upset because Aaron didn't touch her at all in the night. He didn't want to cuddle her. They the guys chat and ask if they should make breakfast for the girls. And Aaron says the only girls that deserve breakfast are Janae and Serena. And I was dying. Like, it shouldn't be funny, but this conversation was really, really funny because I get what he's saying. I feel like they felt Janae and Serena were the only two that kind of stood on business as a whole. So there's that. Rob jokes that he'll give Leah half an avocado toast because he's two-faced. And Aaron jokes that he'll make a broken-hearted pancake for Kyler. They laugh and joke about it. Kyler doesn't understand why it's a big deal. And the point that you still don't understand why it's a big deal. And I get, I guess this is age showing because she's like, well, I've explained myself. I tried to tell to apologize and he just won't take it. But girl, you can't expect him to move how you want him to move in the manner that you want him to move, in the time frame that you want him to move, when you hurt his feelings. You just have to eat it. You messed up, and you have to eat what that means for y'all to rebuild your relationship. She's upset that he's so upset, though, and I just don't know what to tell her. But the girls say just for her to go about her day, not to ignore him, but just to keep it moving and let him work through it on his own. And Hannah asked, so should I do the same? And the girl said, absolutely not. You need to be making amends to Kendall. And I'm like, yeah, Hannah is being so clueless. I don't understand why she doesn't get it. Like, you eroded anything that you did with breakfast the day before. You eroded all of that with the game. V says, apologizing doesn't erase Aaron's feelings. I feel like Kyler has been able to get away with things with her tears. You know what? Fair. I can absolutely see that, because she really was just like bawling to everybody and just felt like, oh, don't you see, I'm so upset. That means that the way I'm upset, that means that I get why he's upset. And so he should just forgive me because I'm so upset that he's upset. And I think she even said that, right? That's not how it works. That's just so not how it works. So the boys asked Cordell his game plan. He says just about to go about his day. Kendall asks if he will pursue anybody else, and he says no. He's focused on her. He's just gonna try her being Serena. He's gonna try a different approach to learn more about her as a person. He really wants to get this right. Somebody said, I saw a tweet and they're like that Serena thinks that Cordell is playing a game. And I just don't feel like he is bright enough to be playing a game. And I have to agree. I do feel like he's honest and genuine. I don't feel like he's playing the game. I do feel like he might just not know how to fix things, so he's just trying to figure out ways to fix things because he realizes that something is not right. TA says here, Hannah keeps blaming the fact that she's never been in a relationship before as an excuse for seemingly always being clueless about how Kendall is. About Kendall. And I agree. Like, she's using it as an excuse, but even here, Kendall's saying that he will pursue anyone else if he wants to. He says he's not focused on just her. And he's going to approach things differently to learn about her as a person. But he says he's just not going to chat to her. He needs to make a decision about what he wants. So he's kind of just removing himself from her. Now, do I think that Kendall was as into Hannah as he's portraying things? No, absolutely not. Do I get him being upset? Yes. I do think he has a right to be upset. I do think Hannah played this incorrectly. I do think that her reaction afterwards, she's just been so cold, and I don't think that's helped her case. It's kind of like you don't care, and yeah, it's a bit sad. Aaron asks if Hannah is still his number one, and they fight about it. He's like, "Oh, you're her. She's your number 8." And Hannah does say she's just going to let things be, which, I just like, girl, that's not really the thing here. Cordell makes Serena breakfast, and she's just so standoffish to him. And it was sad. Like, it was very, very, very sad to see, actually. Danita says, I feel like Serena is used to scumbags and not genuine guys. What she sees as playing a game is just Cordell being nice. And I agree, he's not bright enough to be scamming. Yeah. Like, I mean, and he doesn't need to scam, I don't think. Um, and I I did read a comment that Ariana put in one of like the IG comments, and she did say that Serena has said she's been love bombed before, and so I get it. Like, she is used to, as Danita is saying here, guys who are not genuine to her, who overly tell her how much they want her and treat her like crap. Um, and that's unfortunate, but that's also work that she needs to do on herself that has nothing to do with Cordell. As Rachel says here, Serena's reading Cordell as not being genuine when what he's really trying to do is impress her. Exactly. So he's trying to impress you because he's a nice, kind, genuine guy. But because you have had these experiences, you keep saying your intuition, your intuition. Your intuition is based on people being not genuine to you, and you haven't done the work inside to actively understand the difference between how someone who's genuine and nice and kind and real is versus someone who is not. And that's unfortunate, but that has nothing to do with Cordell. That has to do with you. Hey, Precious says, Serena was not kind to Cordell when he made her breakfast. She wasn't. I was gonna be very upset with her if she didn't end things after this. I am glad that she did end things with him after this, because he didn't deserve her her coldness to him. She was very, very cold to him. CJ says Cordell has a huge heart and he is really trying. Now I'm worried about Serena's future since it's a girl going home next. Yeah, I mean, we can all worry for Serena. I'm worried for her. Like I said at the beginning of this, I think the worst part of liking this OG cast is that we're going to be worried about some of them leaving earlier than we wanted them to, but also we can't help how they play this game, because ultimately it is a game. And I'm not saying she should have strung Cordell along. I think she needed to do more work. I think she needs to do more work on herself. And she just didn't. And so we just have to hope that she pivots in a manner that preserves her standing in the villa and actually gives her the opportunity to pursue somebody else. So Danita says, so it's triggering. Why hasn't she told him that instead of cutting things off before they get started? Because she doesn't think he's genuine, because she doesn't know the difference. So she feels like I'm sure that in her head, giving him that information is just playing into his hands. And it's not, but also, again, if she had done the work, and by doing the work, guys, I mean mental health work, meaning therapy. Like, she needs heavy duty therapy. If she's been love bombed and dealt with a lot of ungenuine guys that she cannot see, like, I mean, it is an edited program. We may be missing a lot of conversations, but based on what I've seen, even in his conversations with the guys, I feel like Cordell, because he could be saying nasty, rude things about her. He could be mad at her for not, being physical with him. He could be trying to push his advances on her. He is not doing any of that. And so I do feel like in general, he is a genuine guy. Do I think he has a lot of experience to know how to um, have conversations with girls? Probably not. He's only 21. He's only 21. Rachel agrees with Danita. I feel like a conversation could have fixed this. Yeah. If you know how to have the conversation, yes. Shanley says Serena and Cordell could ride friendship until Casa, like Cachet and Corey. Fair. Yep. They could actually do that. TA says it was so sad and hard to watch Serena with her guard up like that. And yes, I agree with all said about Serena. She has a lot of help work to do. And Charlene says Cordell has been love bombed too, with girls liking him for who his brother is. Right. So he probably would understand, but because Serena has this guard up and this wall up and she does not think he's genuine, she can't have this conversation with him. Because maybe if she said it to him in that way, he probably would get it and ease off. But she doesn't want to allow him to have that. And it's sad. So we do see Hakeem makes Liv breakfast. She doesn't come down and help him make breakfast. And he feels like he's forcing himself. He's telling Janae, like, she promised me she was going to come help me make breakfast. We were going to make breakfast together. I made breakfast for her yesterday. I just feel like she, because he goes and he also drops off breakfast for her. And he's like, I just feel like I'm forcing things on her. Our kisses are weird. And I think he's reading this absolutely correct. And I'm going to tell you the truth, guys. If one of the new girls picks up Cordell, I do kind of hope that Serena pivots to Hakeem, maybe, because maybe that's someplace that she could go to move forward. But I don't know if she, how much she likes Hakeem. So, yeah. We do see Aaron and Kyler chatting again, and Janae and Connor observing them, and I think it was Janae and Connor. Anyway, somebody was observing them and said that they're arguing again, and nobody can understand what they could possibly be arguing about. And she's explaining things again, and I'm like, girl, stop explaining things. You know what's coming off as not genuine? Kyler continuously explaining to Aaron why she did what she did yesterday. It's coming off as fake, and she needs to stop. You did what you did. Eat that shit and keep it moving. Stop trying to make him forgive you in your time. It's unfair. Rachel points out here, I don't like Hakeem, but he made good points here. Liv is playing games. Absolutely. Absolutely. I need her dumped. I don't like her at all. I need her to go. And he says, listen, I'm not saying trust. This is Aaron. I'm not saying trust is all gone. I can forgive. I just can't forget. And I feel like that's fair. I feel like I think he's being very fair to her. Serena chats to Janae and Leah, and she just says she's not feeling Cordell, and that he's starting to annoy her, and you could see it. You could see it. But she's saying he's playing a game, and I'm like, girl, he is not playing the game. He's not playing a game. But that's how she feels. And she's like, she wants to end things, but she's worried everybody will be mad at her for doing that, because everybody's like, oh, poor Cordell, but she doesn't feel like anybody cares about her feelings. And Janae and Leah reassure her that won't be the case, that everybody cares about them both and they care about her, and nobody's going to be mad at her. She has to do what's best for her. And my whole thing is, at this point, I need you to end things with him, because he does not he does not deserve for you to like play with him because you don't want to be the bad guy. I feel like you're being more of a bad guy, not being open and honest about the fact that you know you don't like him, you don't see anything in the future with him, and that you wanted to end things with him however long ago. Um and so she does say though to them she is going to end things with him today. And I'm like, good. And so I appreciate this, that she did not let this go on another day from when she's made seems to have made her final decision. I think this was the proper way to do things. Rachel asked, do we know if Hakeem and Serena hang out in the villa as friends? Because even if it's not romantic, this still could be an option for her. I haven't seen it, but I don't think we've had a reason to see it. And so again, like that's the only thing I could hope. So yeah. Danita says Serena gotta remember that Cordell's almost 5-year long relationship started in high school, so he probably doesn't have that much experience dating, talking to girls he truly likes. And that's the thing. That's what she's not understanding. Like, she doesn't get that. Danita says, I love this trio so much. You could tell they are genuinely friends. Same. I love them. I don't want any of them to go. It's going to make me sad. Precious says, I don't like this conversation Sharina had with Leah and Janae. Precious, you'd have to tell me why that is. But I do like the friendships in the villa. Yep, same. CJ says, yeah, I agree. We are tired of Liv. Yeah, Liv can go. Hannah does pull Liv and Janae, and she says Kendall hasn't talked to her all day. She's like, it's just not the same vibe. And again, girl, like the same thing with Kyler and Aaron here. You want him to forgive you in your time. He will not. So you kind of just have to get over it. Is it fair for him to not talk to you and y'all are in a couple? No, but he did ask for space to figure out what he wanted to do. You have to give it to him. You have to give it to him. So, Kendall and Cordell chat, and Kendall says he's slowing down on Hannah. He's taking a step back. She really hurt him. Cordell still thinks Serena and him are on the same page. I felt so bad for him because he really did think that they wanted the same thing, because he hung on to her saying the day before that she was going to try to be more physical with him. They do see Serena coming across the villa, and they do kind of catcall her. She does pull Cordell for a chat at this point, and she says there's nothing romantic for her in this, and that she just sees him as a friend. And you can just see, this is how genuine this guy is. He was holding back tears, guys. He was really emotional about it. And I felt so badly for him. I felt so badly for him because I think he genuinely thought that there was something potential there, based on everything. And listen, we all thought that there was something potential there based on everything. What she said she was looking for, what he said he was looking for, where they were from. If you've ever been in that space, and you see potential with someone like that, and you're like, oh, like this could work if this, if we just like work on it, and then it doesn't happen, it can be devastated. And I feel like that's what happened here. I entirely felt so bad for him. CJ says, remember Hakeem doesn't like black women. I don't want him with Serena. I didn't say that she had to stay with him. This is a game, and she needs to couple up with somebody. So I'd rather him couple up with Serena than Liv, because boys choose. So, yeah. Precious says it is so sad seeing Serena end things with Cordell. His reaction speaks for itself. I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that. He does, again, this is also how mature he is. He does ask her what about it, what about them wasn't working for her? What could he have done better? And he says, is it just him not paying attention to what she was saying to him? And she said, yeah. And she also just says, she just sees friendship, but she says she says to him, she just didn't think that their conversations were genuine. He took it well. I think he took it as best as he could. We do see Janae and Connor and eventually Kendall watch it all go down. And everybody was kind of just sad. And then the entire villa split up into boys and girls to comfort them both. And they there was so much good words being said about each of them on each side of the villa. The boys said really good things about Serena, and they were glad that she let him down now. And the girls were like, they loved how mature he took things and how he asked, for the constructive criticism. And they all just want them both to find love. And I think we all want the same thing too. I will tell you that I teared up. This was entirely sad for me. I feel bad. Because there was so much potential there. There was. Rachel agrees, though, that I'm so glad to see the guys still hyped Serena and her character, to be honest. I agree. And I think it's also a testament to not only Serena, but also how Cordell has spoken about Serena. And so I do think it's like twofold. They just have had good words for both of them. And that's all. Charlene says the same thing. Me too. And the song did not help. I know it just was so sad, guys. It was so sad. Oh. Denise says, yes, Rachel, I love that they hype Serena up instead of tearing her down. We've seen it go the other way many, many times in the past. Yeah, they want to big up their boy. Oh, you're better than her. You'll get someone better. I mean, even if that's true, it's unnecessary to say. Especially, I hate when it happens, when the guys are saying, oh, that's my best friend in the villa, and that's my friend, and that's my friend, and then they sit there and talk shit about her to the guy she was just with. Like, it's bullshit. V says this cast is so supportive, unlike the UK. To see the men hype up a black woman is amazing. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to be so sad if we lose somebody from this cast right now. I don't want it to happen. I like almost all of them. There's literally only like one or two people I'm like, y'all can go. So there's that. Just heartbreaking. But he is glad that she did it and didn't waste his time. And he says you can't force things. And she's relieved that he took it well. So we do see Janae and Connor in the kitchen and they're chatting and he gets a text. It is a underwear party. #dare to be bare. Everyone is excited. Everyone comes out in their lingerie and their boxers and they look amazing. Every single last one of them looked amazing. I actually really, really liked this concept. Rachel says, yeah, the girls ate in their looks. Absolutely. Oh, CJ says, I agree, V. I stopped watching UK. Oh, that's sad. That really sucks that you felt like you couldn't watch it anymore. I understand though. Like it's been a drag. It has been a drag. So we do see. Oh, Charlene says that they sure did, including Ariana. Oh, I want Ariana's look for myself. I need that entire set. I am waiting for them to put it out where it's from so I can go search for it and buy it. I need that. It's probably going to end up being sold out. I have absolutely nobody to wear it for but myself, but I don't care. I'll wear it for myself. um, so we do see Connor pulls Janae to soul ties and they chat about her outfit. He says she's hot and he fans her, and they talk about how much he likes the speed that they're going. And she's like, I also like the speed that we're going, but we could speed things up if you want to. And she kind of just gives him the green light to be more physical with her if he wants. And so they do kiss outside of a challenge. And Connor says that it was a really good kiss. Rachel says Connor was drooling over Janae as he should. Listen, she looked hot in that red. Like even when Ariana comes and she has her and Hakeem give out the gifts, like she looked amazing. She looked amazing. So we do see Janae tells Serena and Leah about the kisses and the conversation, and she also thought that the kisses were really good. And the next thing we see is Ariana walking in that insane outfit, and she says she's here to party, and she says she's coming bearing gifts, and in the gifts are handcuffs and blindfolds. And so each person in their couples have to choose who gets the handcuff, who gets the blindfold. If you're handcuffed, you handcuff yourself to a pole behind you guys. And the other person will have to blindfold themselves. So we do see, it's mixed. Like not all the girls blindfolded themselves or handcuffed themselves. I think I like that because the reaction to what happens next gave like, oh my gosh, because I feel like if all the girls had been blindfolded, we wouldn't have gotten such good reaction to what happens next. Or if all the guys had been blindfolded, also same thing. And so she says, she also brought 2 new girls in to mix things up. And I want to know what you guys think, but I do like Ariana being, and I know it's probably because she has she doesn't have much to do while in Fiji, so why not come and work? But I like Ariana being so involved in this show because she just dropping off bombs left and right. First it was Hakeem and Connor, now it's Andrea and Nicole. So we have Andrea, who is from Florida. She's 25. And then we have Nicole, who's 26, and she's a medical sales rep. Then we have Liv talking about Kyler. We have another blonde. Blonde is not a personality, Liv. Blonde is not a personality. As Charlene says here, Liv can go. As TA says here, Liv can go. Charlene is laughing at me. Danita, I didn't quite get the handcuff part though. I think she was just trying to be a little like borderline sexy BDM what is it? BDMS or whatever it is. I think it was to throw them off when really what they needed was the blindfold. Rachel says Cordell was funny asking for a tea while blindfolded, just nosy. It was so funny. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was so good that there was like a mix of some being blindfolded and not, because that part was so funny. Like, what's going on? What's going on? What am I missing? Danita says Ariana is doing a great job as a host. I'm gonna have to concur here. I was never really concerned, but dynamics, you never know. I told you like my favorite host was the original host, and I do feel like we gotten a little bit more of that than we have in the last few seasons. because I feel like she was more involved in the show. She watched the show. She got to know everybody, and I feel like Ariana is doing the same thing. So I love that. Charlize says, "Oh, that part was so good. USA has been bringing it." Um, Rachel says, "I think Hakeem is gonna love Andrea. They are both from Florida. Fair, fair. She's his body type." Um, Danita says, "I hope she just he doesn't necessarily like blondes, but he's also with Liv. I hope one of the bombshells go for Hakeem, because then that's the only way we're gonna get rid of Liv, aside from a public vote, of course. True." Rachel says, "I loved Ariel. You could tell she was invested, and now you can tell Ariana is too." I agree. I loved me some Ariel. I loved me some Matthew. They were just so invested in the show, so invested in the brand, and I agree. I do feel like Ariana is as well. Because even for her to be in the IG comments, I don't remember Sarah really doing that. And but Ariel used to do that, and she used to hype up the men and women when they were on the show. Matthew too. And I feel like even just like stating that, things like, oh, Serena was love bombed, and giving us those little behind the scenes tidbits. I like that in my host. I need that in my host. I feel like Maya Jama does it as well. You could tell she watches the show. You could tell that she's invested in what everybody's doing as well on the UK side. I think Ariana does a little more. Rachel agrees. Matthew was even invested post show. He always in season 3 Islander comments. He is. I love me some Matthew. So we do see that Ariana says they've been watching you guys, and you get to kiss whichever guy that caught your eye. So Nicole is up first, and she kisses Kendall for a really long time. She was going in, guys. She was going in. And then she picks Cordell, removes his blindfold, and kisses him. And then we heard Serena say, "Oh, she's really happy for him." And I hope she meant that. I hope it wasn't fake. It's like yeah. But he seemed to enjoy it. I don't know if she's necessarily his type. He seemed to enjoy it, but I didn't see sparks from it. I don't know. Danita said, "Did she leave her makeup on Kendall's face, or was I tripping?" Oh, I didn't notice. I'd have to go back and look. Next, Andrea is up, and she chooses Rob. And Leah is like, of course, she wouldn't be a bombshell if she didn't come kiss my man. And then she chooses Aaron to kiss. And Kyla is shocked. So it's time for everybody to remove their blindfolds. And next we see is tomorrow night. So it looks like next time both Aaron and Rob are open to Andrea, and Rob says that she is the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, which is wow. So as I said at the top of the hour, I'm concerned for my girls. I'm concerned. I hate when boys choose, because then I have to be concerned for my girls. CJ says, "I hope Matthew is narrated again next season. I love him." I don't think we're ever getting Matthew back as a narrator, unfortunately. Rachel says, "Rob better behave himself with how he's been all over Leah." Yeah, I don't know, guys. Woo! I don't know. Rob sounded and looked gone. Like, he looked gone from the time she walked in. His eyes were like saucers, like round and just like, whoa. And so, yeah, I think he is really attracted to this girl. Um, ooh, ooh. V says Connor better not mess this up for Janae. Listen, Connor better stay on code. He get voted out. V says I feel like Rob is being too strategic. I can see that. I could see that. I do think he genuinely likes Leah. I also think I do think like he's been nonchalant about a lot of things. Is he necessarily really that nonchalant in real life is the question. We're gonna find out. Danita says, praying for my girls, Serena, Leah, and shoot, even Hannah. Worried we might lose one. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it's not looking good, guys. Rachel says these boys better not piss me off, and Hakeem needs to do his needful. CJ says, Hannah, you in danger, girl. I like her, but Kendall was never really into her. Yeah, I think we're probably definitely gonna lose Hannah. Unless Hakeem picks her up, but I'd prefer him to pick up Serena. If any of the Love Island gods are listening to me on this show, if I'm gonna have to choose between Hannah and Serena, I probably would choose Hakeem to choose Serena. And we say bye to Hannah and Liv. If we said bye to Kyler and Liv, I would also be okay. But I don't think we're going to. I think they're going to make sure to keep Kyler. So Shawnee says, well, that one needs to be Liv. Liv or Kyler better leave, or I'm suing. V agrees with me. Danita says if Rob is going to be strategic, then he needs to stick it out with Leah. Y'all were just on After Sun together. Clearly the public and production likes you. Yeah. I mean, hello. You playing the game or you're not playing the game. If he's smart, he would know what to do. I'm not saying that he shouldn't test the waters. I'm saying that he needs to stand on business and remember where home is. So yes. So that's it, guys. Listen, I'll be back tomorrow night. So we have an episode Monday night and an episode Tuesday night, and then we're on break on Wednesday. Yeah, so we will see what these girls do. The bombshelling that Liv thought she was doing is what Nicole and Andrea are actually doing. So that's the difference. Anybody who was looking for the difference between Liv, see, this is why Rob is going to be conflicted, because Andrea is an actual bombshell. Liv, I don't know what you were doing. And so you can go. Rachel says, yeah, I don't want this to be another Serenity situation where the other OG black girl leaves early. Yeah. All right, we're going to pray for Serena. Pray the Love Island gods. Make sure that she does not go home. TA says, thank you. This was fun. Thank you for joining me, guys. Who do you think the bombshells will really want? That is funny. I'm not sure, because I feel like they're both very vocal and very just outgoing. And so I'm not sure if Andrea will like Rob. I can definitely see Nicole liking Kendall. And I kind of see with whoever it was that said that it's possible that Andrea and Hakeem might. Sorry about that. And that Hakeem and Andrea might get together. Actually, might be fair because yes, they're both from Florida, and I also think she's a little more closer to the type that he said that he likes. Safer hair type, although I don't know if she's a natural blonde, so there's that. But thank you guys for joining me as always. Make sure you follow me on Entertainment and Color everywhere. If you follow me on IG and most of my socials, I try to post press releases that I get for Love Island, the UK version. I don't really get many press releases from Peacock. When I do, I try to post those as well. But whatever tea I get, I try to spill as much as I can. Otherwise, thank you for joining me for my little opinion on this platform. And please tell your friends and tell another friend to come follow me. I think we're almost to July soon, and we'll be chit-chatting The Bachelorette soon. And I'm going to try to really get to do some TikToks. I watched Perfect Match over the weekend. I have some thoughts on that. I have thoughts on the ultimatum, South Africa. So make sure you follow me on all my socials, guys. And I love you. Thank you for joining me. See you next time. Bye.